All right. Stepping away from our usual tech and science deep dives for a moment, we're shifting gears and altitude, you could say.
Definitely altitude.
Today we're exploring a destination that feels, well, both ancient and utterly breathtaking.
Indeed. Our source for this particular deep dive is an excerpt from a travel guide. It's titled Discover Nepal with FlightNHotels.com.
Okay, Discover Nepal. And our mission, as always, is to get inside this guide, really understand its take on why Nepal is such a compelling place to visit.
Right.
And then look at how it presents a specific tool, FlightNHotels.com, as sort of the key to unlocking that journey. So what kind of picture does the source paint right off the bat?
Well, the guide kicks off by really highlighting Nepal's incredible diversity.
Yeah.
Just wow.
Diversity in what sense?
It paints it as this land where you've got these towering, massive peaks meeting dense jungles, where ancient spiritual ways of life exist right alongside, vibrant city culture.
Okay.
It basically frames Nepal as a destination for almost anyone, whether you're a serious trekker or someone looking for maybe spiritual peace. Or even just a nature lover or someone keen on culture. It's this mix, this blend that the source really seems to emphasize as its core magic.
That idea of blending extremes is...
Yeah,
that's really interesting. So let's dig into why this source says you should visit Nepal. What are the main appeals it really focuses on?
The guide keeps coming back to this idea of Nepal being a land of pretty profound contrasts.
Contrasts, okay.
Geographically, culturally, spiritually. It's the way these things play together that makes it unique, according to this source.
And I'm guessing front and center are the mountains. The source actually calls it a trekker's paradise.
Oh, absolutely. That's huge. It points out Nepal is home to 8 of the world's 14 highest peaks, including the very top one, Mount Everest.
Sagarmatha.
Which they know locally as Sagarmatha, exactly. The sheer scale is just a massive draw.
Does the source get into specific trekking experiences? Does it name any routes?
Yes, it does. It mentions some really popular ones, like the Everest Base Camp Trek, obviously.
The big one.
The big one. Also the Annapurna Circuit, the Langtang Valley Trek, and the Manaslu Trek as well.
Okay.
But it stresses it's not just about the physical challenge,
Yeah.
The guide describes these treks as journeys that are physically tough, sure, but also emotionally uplifting. You're passing through traditional mountain villages, these ancient Buddhist monasteries perched high up in the hills, and just incredibly scenic landscapes. It's about the whole immersion, not just reaching a point on a map.
So the culture is kind of woven right into the physical landscape, even when you're out on the trails.
Yeah.
That leads nicely into the next major point the source seems to make. Nepal's really rich culture and spiritual heritage.
Yeah, this is presented as another really fundamental reason to go. The guide notes that Nepal is the birthplace of Lord Buddha,
Right.
which makes it a hugely significant spiritual center, not just for Buddhists, but also for Hindus. Both religions have really deep roots there, and they intertwine quite a bit.
And it lists some globally recognized sites, I imagine.
Precisely. It points to Lumbini, which is, the documented birthplace of Buddha. Pashupatinath Temple, described as one of the holiest Hindu sites anywhere.
Wow.
And those iconic Buddhist stupas, Buddhanath and Swayambhurnath, you might know it as the Monkey Temple. They're these really vibrant centers of spiritual life, right, in Kathmandu. It also makes sure to highlight the ancient royal palaces and temples, the Durbar squares.
Oh, right, in places like Bhaktapur.
Exactly. Bhaktapur, Patan, and Kathmandu itself, explaining that these were the historical heartlands of Nepal's old kingdoms, and they showcase centuries of really intricate art and architecture, just stunning stuff.
So we've got the towering mountains, these deep spiritual and historical layers. What else does the source emphasize about Nepal's natural world? Beyond the peaks?
Well, the guide makes a point of stressing the breathtaking natural diversity beyond just the high Himalayas.
Okay.
It highlights the range of ecosystems, describing how you can go from those snow-capped giants we just talked about, right down to these dense subtropical jungles in the southern part of the country.
Jungles. Now that's the contrast really coming through again.
Exactly. And within these warmer areas, it specifically highlights national parks for wildlife safaris.
Like Chitwan.
Chitwan National Park, yes, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and also Bardia National Park. The guide notes you might see incredible animals there. Bengal tigers, one-horned rhinos, elephants, tons of bird life.
Wow.
The idea that you could potentially be trekking near Everest one week and then spotting rhinos in a jungle the next, that's quite a picture the source paints.
It certainly shows the sheer variety. packed into one place. What about the cities? Does the guide give a sense of the urban experience in Nepal?
It does, yeah. It touches on the vibrant cities and also the local hospitality. Kathmandu is noted as the bustling capital, the cultural heart.
Right.
Pokhara gets described as the gateway to the Annapurna region, famous for its beautiful lake and that immediate mountain backdrop. It's stunning.
I've seen pictures. It's incredible.
Yeah. Nagarko is highlighted for panoramic Himalayan views, including, apparently on clear days, Mount Everest at sunrise.
Right.
And it also mentions these charming hilltop towns like Bandur and Tansen, which have preserved their traditional architecture and offer a sort of slower pace of life.
Okay, so the why visit, from this guide's perspective, seems really clear. This intense mix of dramatic geography, deep culture, spirituality, surprising wildlife, and these engaging urban centers.
Sounds like a trip that needs some careful planning, though, to navigate all that.
Definitely.
And I guess this is where the source transitions to introducing FlightNHotels.com.
Yes, exactly. The guide pivots right here to the practical side, the how-to.
Yes.
It presents FlightNHotels.com as the tool to actually make this journey happen.
Okay.
It's described pretty straightforwardly as an online travel booking platform, designed to help you compare and book flights, hotels, and car rentals. Worldwide, apparently, and often at discounted rates.
So how does the source frame the benefits of using this particular platform for a trip like Nepal, which has all this variety? Well, the guide lists several key points. It says you can compare thousands of options in real time, which, for a place like Nepal with such diverse accommodation needs from tea houses to jungle lodges, could be really useful.
Makes sense.
It claims it offers exclusive discounts and deals, so highlighting cost savings. It points to a user-friendly portal, worldwide access, important for international travel, obviously.
Right.
Safe and secure online booking. And, maybe importantly for navigating potential complexities, 204/7 support.
Okay, so the source presents it as this kind of comprehensive tool, aiming to simplify booking the core parts of a trip to what sounds like a pretty complex destination. Let's look at how it breaks down the booking specifics. First, getting there and then getting around within Nepal.
Right. So for flights, the guide mentions booking international routes into Nepal, specifically pointing to Tribhuvan International Airport, that's KTM in Kathmandu.
Okay, the main gateway.
Exactly. And it also highlights that the platform can handle domestic flights within Nepal, which, as we were just saying, could be pretty necessary to get between, say, trekking regions and those jungle parks down south.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about ground transport?
For getting around on the ground, the source suggests using the platform for car rentals, saying it offers convenience and flexibility, especially if you want to explore valleys and hills outside the main cities.
Okay.
It says you can book either chauffeured cars or self-drive options across different budgets from basic to luxury, again mentioning potential discounts. And it gives examples like road trips to Pokhara, Nagarko, or Lumbini.
So that covers getting there and moving around.
Mm-hmm.
What about finding places to stay amidst all this geographical and experiential diversity?
Yeah, the guide states pretty clearly that Nepal offers a huge range of accommodation, everything from luxury resorts to simple guest houses and homestays, so catering to different travel styles and budgets. And it lists key destinations where you can find options on the platform. Kathmandu, for instance, mentioning areas like Thamel.
The main tourist hub?
Yeah, that's the one. And also Durbar Marg, which is known for more upscale hotels. Pokhara is listed with a focus on lakeside resorts, many offering those Annapurna views.
Nice.
Chitwan is noted for its jungle lodges and eco-resorts located conveniently near the park. Nagarko for its hilltop hotels specifically designed for those panoramic mountain views.
Right, for the sunrise view.
Exactly. And Lumbini for peaceful stays close to the sacred sites and monasteries. The source really emphasizes the platform's hotel comparison tool here to help you sift through all that and find the best fit and price in these really varied locations.
It sounds like the guide is really making a case that this single platform can handle the logistics for potentially very different parts of a single trip, a trek, then a city stay, then maybe a jungle visit.
That seems to be the main argument, yeah.
Does the guide also offer advice on when the best time to visit Nepal is?
Yes, it does include a section on that. It acknowledges straight up that the climate varies significantly depending on the region and how high up you are.
Sure.
But it provides a quick seasonal guide. Spring, so March to May, is noted for blooming flowers and excellent trekking conditions.
Huh?
Summer, June to August, that's the monsoon season. So lush greenery, but wetter. Maybe some off-season discounts, it suggests.
Right.
Autumn, September to November, is highlighted for clear skies. This presented as the most popular trekking season, probably the best visibility.
The peak season, then.
Seems like it. And winter, December to February, brings snow to the high mountains, but can offer peaceful sightseeing lower down.
And is there a specific recommendation, like if you had to pick?
The source pretty clearly suggests either autumn or spring as the prime time, especially for the best trekking experiences and the clearest mountain views.
Got it. Okay, so beyond just the booking, logistics, and timing, does the guide mention other kinds of experiences you can have in Nepal, things to do?
It does, yeah. It lists some top experiences to consider. These include things like mountain flights over Everest.
Oh, like a scenic flight.
Exactly, for people who want the view without the multi-week trek. Also, paragliding in Pokhara over the lake with the mountains right there.
It sounds amazing.
Whitewater rafting on Nepal's rivers is mentioned. Taking specific cultural tours, maybe exploring hidden monasteries or learning about ancient rituals, and also participating in yoga and meditation retreats for people focused more on wellness and spirituality.
So quite a range there, too.
Okay.
Okay, wrapping this up then. The source presents Nepal as this incredibly diverse, really appealing destination.
Yeah.
Something for almost everyone, kind of defined by its dramatic contrasts.
Yeah, that's the picture.
And it positions FlightNHotels.com as the practical solution. The tool that, according to the guide, helps you book the flights, hotels, and cars you need to navigate all that variety, seamlessly and affordably.
That's precisely the connection the guide draws. It basically argues that whether you're planning the flight in, finding the right place to stay, whether that's near a trailhead or a jungle park, or arranging transport between these very different locations, the platform is designed to facilitate that whole journey, to make it, as they say, hassle-free and cost-effective. It even includes these quick booking links noted right in the text. Flights to Nepal, hotels in key cities, car rentals in Nepal.
So it's presenting the platform as the essential bridge, really, to experiencing that rich diversity the country offers.
Exactly. That seems to be the core message regarding the tool.
So we've explored the source's view on Nepal's incredible natural beauty, its deep cultural and spiritual layers, and the adventurous possibilities it holds. A lot packed in.
Definitely a lot.
And we've looked at how this particular guide presents FlightNHotels.com as a tool to book the crucial parts of what could be a really varied trip.
It certainly paints a picture of a destination that requires you to embrace difference and contrast, from planning right through to the experience itself.
You know, considering Nepal packs such immense geographical and cultural diversity into what is, geographically speaking, a relatively small area, how might planning a trip there require a different mindset than planning a trip to maybe a large country with less internal variation? Perhaps it's less about choosing one kind of experience and more about figuring out how to thoughtfully combine many different ones. Something for you to consider as you think about this fascinating place.